The following is a free presentation on how to take your game with women to the next level. Prepare yourself for some fun with women tonight. Hi, my name is Chris Nova, and this is a black book. And in a little while, I'm going to reveal why this black book is going to help you significantly amp up your game, multiply your consistency, and skyrocket your success with women worldwide tonight. These top-level secret techniques I'm going to share with you are so powerful that you will know with total certainty how easy it is to attract hot, sexy women by the end of this webinar. But right before we get started, I need to warn you, the techniques I'm about to share with you are the cutting edge of the cutting edge. So if you're one of those guys who isn't prepared to think outside the box when it comes to women and attraction, then this isn't for you. But for those of you who want to learn to succeed with women, I can guarantee that you have never heard anything like this ever before in your life. And by the end of this webinar, it's likely that you will never look at game, women, or sex the same way ever again. Now, if you're brand new to this and don't know how to approach women, then that's okay. Because in just a little while, I'm going to teach you the exact step-by-step method that I have personally used to conquer my fear with women. And let me tell you this now. This technique is a straight game changer. By the time you're done, you will literally be able to approach hot, sexy women anywhere you are without any fear, without any hesitation, or without any anxiety whatsoever. How good will that feel for a change? And just as an added bonus, as a gift from me to you, at the end of this webinar, I'm going to reveal to you one of the most powerful strategic techniques that has gotten me 95% of the women I meet when I go out to come back to my place that night. This is something that every sexually active man needs to hear. So make sure you watch this webinar to the very end. Now, if you're one of those guys who actually thinks he's got something better to do with his time than learn these cutting edge techniques that I'm about to share with you, then I'm going to assume that you're already a totally confident, naturally attractive, killer with women kind of guy. Or you just happen to be one of those guys who enjoy going home at the end of the night with nothing but their right hand. On the other hand, if you're ready to start, then know that my methods aren't cheap little chick tricks. You won't need to use any props or scripted openers to attract hot, sexy women. Those methods are outdated and a waste of your time. But if you're a smart guy, then I know that all you want are the tactics and techniques that are actually going to help you meet and attract real-world women and nothing else. But right before I grant you access to my vault of turbocharged attraction techniques, I'm going to share with you a story unlike anything you've ever heard. It's not a story of love or romance. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's such a bizarre story that if it hadn't happened to me, I wouldn't believe it to be true. So check this out. How in the world was a chubby, shy, socially awkward loser like me able to transform himself into the incredibly confident guy that women just can't help but naturally gravitate towards? Did I start wearing big, fuzzy, furry hats, gold chains, and ski goggles like some of those other pickup artists that we all know? Did I start driving a brand new, shiny Lamborghini or become a rock star musician? Get out of here. The fact of the matter is that women used to be repulsed by me. It was like I had a big sign on my forehead that said, "Warning, loser is approaching." In fact, I was such a loser that if you were to Google wuss, the first 10 pages would probably be about me. Had it not been for my epic crash and burn into a new all-time record low, then this presentation wouldn't exist. The horrifying events that took place my senior year of college forever changed the direction of my life. You see, my college sex life consisted of nothing more than blue balls and sorority rejects. To say the least, it wasn't the college experience that I had expected. The tipping point came when I was out at a Taco Tuesday with my buddy Nick. Nick happened to be one of those really cool fraternity guys who would always hang out with hot sorority chicks. This night was no different. The only problem was that these hot sorority girls only looked at me like Nick's uncool, loserous friends. And I have no one to blame but myself. I let them see me that way, because at the time, I was willing to do anything to fit in, and they all knew it. So on this one particular night, they thought that it would be fun to get me wasted to see if I would act crazy and embarrass myself, as I usually didn't drink when I went out. But as always, I caved under the peer pressure. I didn't have a backbone back then. But something strange happened to me that night when I got drunk. About 11 shots deep, my alter ego all of a sudden took over and I suddenly became Mr. Social. I remember talking to everyone. It didn't matter if it was a hot girl or a group of guys. I couldn't stop. I was laughing, I was giving out high fives, and at one point I even got on top of the bar rail and started dancing to Big and Rich's Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy song that was playing on the jukebox. Seriously though, it was like I was standing on top of two huge liquid balls of courage. And apparently, my dancing had got some recognition that night. because hot, sexy girls were coming up to me afterwards asking if I gave out private lap dances. And as this was going on, that's when she came over. Alex, the beautiful, stuck-up, prissy girl of this story. Alex was this really sexy girl who my friend Nick was into. She'd been sitting at our table the whole time and hadn't even looked in my direction. The next thing I knew, she was hanging all over me. I wasn't sure at the time what was going on, but I was sure happy that it was. As she was about to leave the bar, she slipped her number into my back pocket and told me she wanted to quote-unquote cuddle the following night. I thought I knew what cuddling meant, so I spent the rest of the next day getting ready. I dusted, I vacuumed, I even went so far as to change the sheets on my bed. To say the least, I was super prepared. That night, as the doorbell rang, I doused myself with a half bottle of cheap cologne and popped a handful of breath mints in. As I opened the door, my jaw dropped to the floor. I remember Alex wearing the short little yellow dress on her tight tan body with just a hint of lip gloss over her full, smooth, round lips, smiling at me with the most wickedly hot smile that I had ever seen. As she came in, I led her to the couch and asked if she wanted to watch a movie. She was down, so I ended up playing the movie Troy for us that night, thinking that Brad Pitt would turn her on for me. I'm not even kidding here. About halfway through the movie, I remember asking her what she'd been up to. She started talking to me about all the typical stuff like school and her girlfriends, but then all of a sudden she just started talking to me about her sex life and all the other guys she had screwed in just the last week. I was so confused by this that I didn't know whether to be offended or turned on. So I ended up being a little bit of both. As she was talking about this, I thought it was a good time to make my move, so I tried putting my arm around her, but instead of getting the response I was hoping for, she gave me this look, hissed, and then just continued on with her sex stories as if nothing had happened. Now this made me more confused than ever. I kind of just shrugged it off though, because I thought that this was her way of kinky foreplay, and I liked it. So I made another move. Wouldn't you? But this time, instead of just hissing, she got up and said, "What do you think you're doing? What did you think was happening tonight? Did you think you were going to have sex with me? There is no way you're having sex with me. I only sleep with real men, and you're disgusting." Apparently, she had told her friends that she was going to meet up with me, but all her friends had warned her that I was one of those real losers, and that if I were to try anything on her, that she should let them know. So she immediately began mass texting all of her sorority sisters that I was a straight creeper. And as I sat there quietly, just watching her text away, feeling like a total wuss, all of my memories of past rejections with hot women suddenly came racing back full force. I was so angry and so tired of being walked all over. And the more I thought about what was happening then and there, the angrier I became at myself. My inner voice began shouting at me, "Step it up, Chris, step it up. Don't let attractive women dictate your thoughts, your actions, your moods, your life. Take control. Be the dictator, be the leader, be the man." And that's when it happened. My balls had finally dropped. I had had enough. I immediately took Alex by the arm and threw her out of my apartment. I told myself that day that I would never let anyone, especially an attractive woman, disrespect me like that ever again. I wanted to be a man who had confidence in himself, was respected by others, and could easily attract any woman that he wanted. I wanted this so badly that I did the only thing that a guy in my situation would do. I dedicated my life to learning from some of the most confident, naturally attractive men in the entire world. From the men who I'd been told mastered the game of attraction. So I began reading through all the top advice books on how to be naturally attractive, books that showed me all types of different openers, lines, and routines that I could use to conquer my fears with women. And while overall these books were insightful and had some really good information in them, they actually didn't teach me exactly how to conquer my fear and actually win with women. So I started attending seminars and boot camps from some of the world's top guys that showed you how to do it, quote unquote, in the field. And yes, these were extremely helpful, but it still wasn't enough. It was basically just a rehash of everything I had already read. So I decided to take fate into my own hands. And when I made that decision to just go out every night and figure this stuff out for myself, I started to notice something. There was this one type of guy that would always get the girls' attention, while every other guy around them would just suddenly become invisible in their presence. And that's when I had one of those light bulb moments. You know the ones I'm talking about here. So I started to do some research and began reading all types of psychology books on human and animal social behavior patterns, and let me tell you, this stuff is just absolutely fascinating. The more I read, the more it became apparent that almost every type of animal species had something very interesting in common. In most cases, there was only one male that would get to mate with all of the other females. This male was known as the alpha male of the group. And the more I started studying the alpha male-like characteristics within men, I started to notice similarities, all kinds of similarities. And then one day, after years of studying this stuff, I just had this epiphany. It clicked. It just all made sense. All the useful information that I had ever accumulated from all of these different sources of dating advice, social dynamics, and psychology formed a crystal clear picture of what the perfect alpha male looked like in my mind. I suddenly knew exactly how to win with women, and that's when I started developing my own methods, constantly testing them out and tweaking them until I was consistently meeting, attracting, and dating the hottest women from all around the world. It was at this point I realized I had something that every man wished he had: total sexual abundance. But there is no way, even if I tried to, that I'd be capable of meeting every single sexy, beautiful woman on this planet, even though I'd like to. And if men were able to just realize how easy it is to actually meet these women, then every man could start attracting them like I've learned how. So with this thought in mind, I wanted to share all of my insights and techniques with like-minded men who are actually sincere about getting this area of their life with women handled. But right before I get into my different turbocharged attraction techniques that are ultimately going to allow you to unlock the alpha male within and start attracting all kinds of hot, sexy women to you like a magnet, I need to put your current sex life into perspective for you. According to the National Center for Health and Statistics, a typical man sleeps with an average of about 7 women throughout his entire life. Just 7. Are you kidding me? And shockingly, it's been reported that only 29% of all men in the world have actually been with 15 or more women. That's it. Can you believe that? Who are these 29% of men? And what are they doing right? Now, a different study that I researched, conducted by Harvard University, said that the average person's lifespan is about 77.6 years. Now, if we were to combine the two statistics that I've just shared with you, then the results would conclude that the average man sleeps with only one new girl just about every 3,650 days. That's literally one new girl about every 10 years. You must be asking yourself this question right now. Why in the world is the average among men with women so low? When you start to really think about it, you will come to the same conclusion that I have. It's because the average man thinks that sleeping with only 7 to 9 women throughout his entire life is normal. There's nothing normal about that. We as men are biologically designed to be with as many women as possible. It's just something that we are hardwired to do. Now that you know this, the issue becomes how? How do men go about attracting all kinds of beautiful women? The answer is actually very simple. They dedicate themselves to getting this area of their life handled. And I'm going to prove to you once and for all why it doesn't require you to have good looks, a bunch of money, or an expensive car to attract women. So if you ever felt you needed these things for women to find you absolutely irresistible, then I've got some very good news for you. In just a second, I'm going to reveal one of the most well-guarded hidden secrets among the female species that is going to save you a whole lot of money, time, and efforts. If women knew that you knew this, they would freak out, because all of their power over you would diminish in an instant. So, what is the secret? It turns out that women are actually repulsed by men who try to buy their affection right away. Tell me how many women you've actually slept with after buying them a drink at a bar, or even dinner on a date for that matter. This is exactly my point. You see, women are actually biologically programmed to be attracted to the man who is conveying the most value, not to the man who's presenting them with everything he can offer, contrary to what the movies and media would have you believe. And if you were to take just one thing away from this webinar, one thing at all, then know that you've been misled into thinking that women only want this stuff, because believe me, it couldn't be further from the truth. This value that women actually do want and find totally irresistible has everything to do with what we call your masculine dominant presence. Your masculine dominant presence is the source of all your attraction, and it is conveyed through the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you act, and the way you present yourself. It's the communication that takes place beneath the surface that ultimately attracts women. I've honestly had rooms full of beautiful women coming up and introducing themselves to me because they just knew that I was the man of the highest value in the room. And when you learn how to demonstrate this quality in your own way, it will have the same effect for you. Now, if you really want to stand out and demonstrate higher value, then you need to be the one that women are reacting to, because that's where they're able to draw all of their emotional excitement from. To show that they want you, these girls will literally do everything in their power to fight for your attention. They will be touching you, uncontrollably flirting with you, and trying to seduce you. How good will that feel for a change? This method that I'm teaching you is brand new and very exciting because it flips the script. Women will be chasing you for the first time and not the other way around. I've literally taught my insights, techniques, tactics, and methods to thousands of men in over 33 different countries from all across the world, to men who were just like you. And guess what? It's helped all of them. Do you know why? Because attraction, like love, is a universal language. It works anywhere in the world, for any guy, at any time, in any country, as long as he knows what he's doing. I can guarantee that you've never used or even seen anything this advanced ever before in your life. So be careful with how you use this, okay? Now, if you're feeling hesitant even in the least bit to take action and improve your life with women right now, then here's a news flash for you. This is your life, and it's ending 1 minute at a time. So why not take advantage of it? What would you say to yourself if you were to wake up 5, 10, 20, 50 years from now, never experiencing the success with women that you've always desired? Listen, I'm your typical average guy. I'm 5'9" on a good day. I'm average looking, and I have no cool hobbies like magic. But let me ask you this. Why do the majority of women I meet want to go home with me? Remember, your vibe is your aura. Get attuned with the world around you. The higher your level, the easier the pull. Welcome to my reality. I've created this webinar to offer you an exclusive invitation to join me and the rest of the guys who are killing it with women, to live a life filled with total sexual abundance, whether that be with one girl or 100. If this is exactly what you want, then welcome. I've been expecting you. To get you started right now, I'm going to share with you the technique that I use to conquer my fear with women once and for all. This technique is called systematic desensitization. Systematic desensitization is the process of eliminating a specific fear through counter-conditioning, creating a sense of relaxation and even pleasure around an object or situation that once caused you great anxiety. Now let's apply this principle to game and women, shall we? Here's how. Go and walk around every day with the purpose of smiling and making eye contact with every beautiful woman that you see, wherever you encounter them. Never worry about what the outcome will be. And by doing this, it will become so natural that it will be second nature. And voila! You will never again feel anxiety when staring directly into the eyes of a beautiful woman ever again. And then move on to the next stage. Do you see how that works? And here's another powerful tip that I use even to this day. Start viewing your interactions with women as if it were a video game, and in this video game you have an infinite number of lives. Remind yourself that there is nothing to fear. And with the insights and techniques in my black book, you will not only understand where your fear comes from and exactly how you can overcome it, but also how effortlessly it can be for you to start attracting women. Become the alpha male. Become a part of the elite. Now, if you take the stuff that I've taught you in this webinar and you actually apply it, you'll see results. But if you really want to live a life of total sexual abundance, to the point that your friends will be wondering how you ever became so successful with women, then learn how to do it and get this part of your life with women handled. And right now, right before I leave, as my final gift to you, I'm going to share with you one of the most powerful strategic techniques that has gotten me 95% of the women I meet when I go out to come back to my place that night. For this technique to work though, there has to be enough sexual tension built up between you and this girl where she wants to go home with you. You see, most women that you will attract will not go home with you that night because they don't want you or their friends to think that they're easy. So the way for you to bypass this insecurity is to simply tell her that you're having an after party or get together back at your place and that you live just around the corner. Even if you live a couple miles away and the only after party or get together that you're actually having is going to be between the two of you. By saying this, you're taking all of the pressure off of her to make a decision right then and there as to whether she wants to be intimate with you or not. If you invite her to an after party and she wants to go home with you, then she will say yes. Try it out. You'll be amazed by the results you get. Now, check out what other guys had to say about the results they've been getting by using our program. Josh from Arizona says, "Hey Chris, I just have to say, thank you so much. If I hadn't come across your program, I'd probably still be approaching women the wrong way. Your Peak Physiology NLP chapter has literally changed my life. I can't believe how radically improved my self-confidence has become just from using the techniques you provide in that chapter. I'm only moving in one direction now, and that's forward." Thanks, Josh. I really appreciate that, and I'm glad that chapter helped. And look what Ralph from South Africa wrote. "Mr. Nova, at first I have to admit that I was very, very, very skeptical. But I said to myself, what the hell? I have nothing to lose. And now, because I decided to get this part of my life handled, I am currently enjoying a relationship with my gorgeous girlfriend that I would have never had the confidence to meet if it hadn't been for your training. That's the most remarkable part. I just have to say, thanks guys." Wow, Johnny and I get the most satisfaction from knowing that we've made a positive impact on your life. We're both really happy for you. And one of my favorite testimonials comes from Philip K. from Australia, who writes, "Hi mate, I decided to give your program a go, and I'm quite pleased I have. I've become the kind of man who no longer reacts to women, but actually has women react to me. It's by far the greatest feeling. I'm happy you gave some really awesome techniques in the book because I've been using them to get more women than ever. My friends couldn't be more jealous. Let's party together the next time you visit the land down under. Take care, mate." Philip, my friend, one day we will party together. Listen, these are but 3 out of the thousands of men we've helped, and the results speak for themselves. And the greatest part is that these guys are no different from you. Now I want you to close your eyes for a second and imagine that you're dating twice as many women that are 3 times as hot, with complete and total indifference. Tell me, what would that be worth to you? No, really, tell me, what would that be worth to you? Know this. If you are not willing to take any action right now to change your circumstances with women, then you likely never will. Don't let your life waste away 1 minute at a time. Choose to enjoy the sexual life that you were biologically designed to as a man. Choose to take control today. Now let's look back on everything that you just learned in this webinar. You've learned that only an elite 29% of all men are killing it with women. You now know that attraction, like love, is a universal language that doesn't require any props or scripted lines and can be used anywhere, anytime, on any woman. You now know that one of the most well-guarded hidden secrets among women is that they are not attracted to men who buy them things to win their affection. And because you now know this, you no longer have to waste any more money, time, or effort trying to win women over. You've learned that men are biologically designed to be with as many women as possible, and that women are biologically programmed to respond to the man who's conveying the most value, and that this value has nothing to do with good looks, money, or expensive cars, and has everything to do with your masculine, dominant presence. You now know that by using the systematic desensitization technique, you will be able to approach women without any fear or any anxiety. And lastly, you now know that one of the most powerful techniques to get a woman to come back to your place that night is to simply tell her that there's an after party or get-together back at your place and that you live just around the corner. Keep in mind, these are just a fraction of the social dynamics, psychology, and science behind attracting women that you're about to learn from us. But you're just this close. If you thought that this information was helpful and insightful, then strap in and prepare for the ride of your life, because this is just the beginning. Upgrade your game. Win with women. Start now. Oh, and Alex, if you're listening to this, I just want to say thank you so much.